get started previewing Alabama when you're ready.
Yeah, getting ready. Alabama's playing. Obviously, they're in first place in the conference. They're 6-0. They're perfect in league play, but they're not just playing as well as anybody in the conference. They're playing as well as anybody in the country right now. They're just playing phenomenal basketball, shooting the ball really well, shooting the ball 40% plus from three in league play. They've got some really good veteran guys with Herb Jones and Petty. Petty just set the all-time three-point record at Alabama in their last game over Arkansas. Reese is a guy who's been around a long time. He's been a real problem for us over the last couple years, so we're going to do a good job on him. They've had a talented transfer with Quinterly, talented freshman with Primo, good JUCO transfer with 14 with Ellis, and then Jawan Gary's back from an injury, and so they've just got and Shackelford, of course, was one of the best players in the league last year. So got tremendous talent, tremendous team, and it'll be a very stiff test for us. Our defense is going to have to be better. Our offense is going to have to be crisper. We can't turn the ball over as much as well.
Hey, Will, I know they lead the league in rebounding, I believe, but they give up a lot of rebounds also. Herb Jones, and he's probably one of the better rebounders in the league, I would guess.
Herb Jones, one of the better players in the league. He's one of the best all-around players in the league. Defensively, offensively, shooting 50% from three, 10 of 20 from three on the season. He's really worked on that in the off season. But yeah, he does a great job for him on both ends of the court.
He and Petty have played really well against you guys, I guess, over the last few years.
Him, Petty, Reese, all three of them have played extremely well against us, and I know they'll have confidence and be ready to go. They got great players, great team, great, well coached.
Well, I'm sure your team doesn't like for confidence or shouldn't, but what things did they do well that you guys need to maybe improve on, or areas that you need to shore up to counter what they do well?
Well, our transition defense has got to be much better. We've got to rebound, and we got to not turn the ball over. That's basically, we got to limit our turnovers. Part of our defensive numbers being so bad is we hand the ball to the other team 5 times a game for a layup. We just toss them the ball for a layup, for a live ball turnover that they convert to a layup. And so, our defensive numbers I shouldn't say they're that bad. They're 3rd or 4th in league play in the league. So you pair the number 1 offense with 3rd or 4th ranked defense, that's a pretty good formula for success most time. But if we quit handing them the ball 5 times a game, our defense would be much better. And so we got to not turn the ball over, value the ball a lot better than we have on offense. And if we do turn it over, we need to punt it in the stands where we can at least get back and set our defense up. And then we're going to have to get back in transition defense. They're so good. Auburn took the lead on them twice, and before Auburn could the scoreboard operator could flip the score, Alabama had gone down and got an and one both times. And so we've got to be able to get back in transition defense. We've got to be able to get into our style of play, and then we've got to check them out. They're a very good offensive rebounding team. We're one of the defensive rebounding is not one of our strong suits. So we need to make sure we check them out.
Hey, Will, this is more of a big picture question, but not only Alabama, you got Kentucky, A&M, Texas Tech coming up. This is probably one of the hardest part of y'all's schedule. Is that something that y'all talk about with the team, just being locked in and focused on probably what is going to be the toughest part of y'all's schedule coming up here?
Well, I don't look at it that way. I'm not trying to give you some coach speak answer, but no matter how the Alabama game goes, the next game's really important too. If you lose it, you got to bounce back and don't want to lose 2 in a row. So that makes it an incredibly important game. If you win it, you've got some momentum and you can't go. Every game's like that when you're coming down when you're in mid to late January and all the way through March. And the whole thing is you want to play in important games, and that's why you come to this level. That's why you come to LSU, is to play in important games. And Tuesday night's an important game, but no matter how that turns out, Saturday's going to be an important game one way or the other. The game against A&M next Tuesday is going to be an important one. They all become important, but that's that's a positive. If we were 1-5 right now, none of them would be important. Nobody would care. So it's a positive.
Coach, before the season, before you go down the rabbit hole, so to speak, do you ever look at sections of the season, like this section, kind of like Glenn asked, and do you ever put in things that might work for 2 games, offensively or defensively?
So, yeah, I always break the conference season down into thirds. So we just finished our first third. I always break it down into chunks of 6. So we just finished the first third. Now we've got the first half of the second third coming up. Then we have a non-conference game in the second half of the second third, and then we've got the final third. So I always break it down like that. I always have. I don't know why, but so we just finished the first third, and now we're on to the next one. We put in new plays for every team off of what we do. I'll put 5 new plays in today, or 5 new concepts, not necessarily plays all the time, but we'll put in 5 new concepts today, and then we certainly adjust a few things defensively each game. You look at what they do that doesn't necessarily work, that what they do that can exploit our base defense, and then what can we do to counter them exploiting our base defense.
Well, I know you played, 10, 11 games now. Was that last
12. We get tomorrow. We're at 13. We've hit our first major milestone.
All right. Was that last 6.5 minutes or so the best defense you played going down the stretch in the game this year? I mean, they were 1 of 13, 4 turnovers you caused.
Yeah, we were better. We were better, but we had to be. If we didn't play that well, we wouldn't have won. So we absolutely had to be. But I thought we were definitely improved and definitely better.
Anything else for Will? Oh, Rap. Golly.
Well, yeah, you asked, so we deliver. Well, I know this has been a big milestone for you that you mentioned before, getting to 13 games. I guess
We're not there yet. We got to get our test results back from today, tomorrow morning. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch now.
Right, I understand. I do understand that, but I mean, I guess most of us are just still used to thinking in a traditional mode. Oh, basketball, they play a lot of games, but it's not that far.
It's funny, I just mentioned all that stuff to Glenn. I mean, who the hell knows if we're even going to play 18 games or how I mean, there's so many, we just got to, as long as we're healthy, we got to play as many games as we can. That's the way I look at it. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I wanted to get your perspective on, as a coach, having been immersed in all this, in having had dealt with COVID yourself. It must not seem that far walk from where you are to where South Carolina was, having just played their 6th game, right?
Oh, it's such a thin line. It's such a thin line. Every time your phone beeps or rings, there's 3 or 4 people when I see a text or a call from them, I just want to bury my head because I know it's going to be, there's something, something going on or something wrong or something we're going to have to deal with as it relates to COVID. But yeah, I mean, it's a very, very thin line, and I think for the most part, everybody's doing what they can, and I've said this from the get-go. Some of it's just luck. I mean, some of it's just flat out luck. I mean, our guys are doing as well as they can. Our staff's doing as well as they can, but some of it's just a little bit of luck, and I think South Carolina's had some tough luck, but it's a very, very thin line. And we learned this earlier. I mean, once it gets in your program, it's in there now. I mean, it's hard to. I'm good friends with the guys at Nebraska. I mean, they've got like 12 people in their program. They hadn't had any issues with it hardly all year. And I talked to their assistant and Coach Hoiberg and those guys. I mean, they got 12 people. And I think it started with a manager, and then it kind of just once it gets in, it's hard. We had 1 or 2 people. We had 1 person who tested positive, and it eventually got to 6 of us in the program. We were lucky it stopped at that, and so that was earlier in December. But it's just one of those deals.
Will, given the social awareness campaigns of the last year, is this MLK Day any different on your team? Are you making any extra?
No, I'm a
strides?
teacher by trade, so we always talk about Martin Luther King and go through things on MLK Day. Sometimes I've given out work. I've done all sorts of different stuff with it, but that's something we've done every year.
Hey, Will, if there's a staple of an 8-O's team that you've noticed, what is it, and how much time do you focus on some of those staples, just depending on each team that you play, as far as emphasizing them in preparation?
Well, we try to boil it down to our guys. You know, look, if we do X, Y, and Z, this gives us the best opportunity to win. I try not to give them more than 3 things. I'm not going to say them on here. Our guys know the 3 things I think we need to do to give ourselves an opportunity to beat Alabama. And so, yeah, I mean, his teams play very, very fast. I think you got to start with transition defense, and then you've got to protect, you know, then you've got to guard the 3-point line. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what his teams do. They get out and get a lot of their rim shots in transition. They shoot a lot of threes in transition as well. And then in the half court, you know, I think their best quality amongst many, but I think by far their best quality is their shot distribution. They don't take a lot of low percentage shots. They maximize just about every possession from a statistical. If you just look at the statistics on the amount of shots they take, I think they take the second least amount of non-paint twos in the entire country, and so, you know, they just maximize each possession statistically, which when you play the numbers like that, you're going to win a lot more than you lose, and especially when you got veteran players and really good players like they have.
Hey, Coach, I just want to ask you about Javonte.
The Saints?
What's that?
I said the Saints?
No, I beat myself all day up about that stupid question last week. I want to ask you about any more aging quarterbacks, but yeah, that was a long, late night, so tough one. In his 3rd year here, what kind of level is Javonte playing at? And I know in the past you've kind of mentioned that, I don't know, his demeanor, his swagger, you kind of want some of that in a game. That kind of, I guess the guys say he's got some dog in him or whatever. But what does that mean in a game like tomorrow, especially?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we saw some great growth from Javonte. The first half was a little bit tough for him the other day, and he comes back and just plays so well in the second half, which was tremendous. But you know, he's part of the heart and soul of our team. He's been a phenomenal player for us. He's a great teammate. He really wants to win. I mean, he's taking care of his body. He was in the cold tub when I left here after the game on Saturday night. He was still sitting in the cold tub. I went in there and talked to him for a little bit, and sitting there getting his body right, and means a lot to him. He cares. He wants to win. He loves LSU. He loves Louisiana, and you know, he's done a tremendous job for us since he's been here, and this has been his best year yet, and we're going to keep that going. Golly, I thought this thing was just about over about 10 minutes ago, Brandon. Now we got everybody piling on with questions.
Now everyone has a question.
Yeah.
I'm all about piling on. I really am. That's my MO all my life, piling on. Milwaukee Wilkinson, obviously he wasn't the most heralded freshman you had, but he really fit your lineup well. I mean, what did you see in him in preseason that you thought, this guy will fit an exact role that I want? Because he does a lot of things that really don't show up in the box score.
Well, we knew it when we recruited him. You know, you recruit to your system a little bit. You know, you've obviously got to go get the stars, but then you've got to, and he's going to be a star now. He's going to be able to, to make a lot of money playing basketball. But we knew it when we recruited him. He just has an unbelievable makeup to him mentally, unbelievable family. Both his brothers played college football, older brothers both played college football. Parents, Tim and Gail, are just tremendous people, and you know, he just has it. I mean, you knew that in recruiting. It was pretty easy. It was pretty easy to spot when you know what you're looking for, and so you got to hit on guys like that. That's an important part of recruiting. Is you can go grab a bunch of talent all you want, but you got to be able to fit the pieces together. You got to be able to make sure it all fits together. And he is just huge for us on offense and on defense. And he's done exactly what we hoped he would do and thought he could do for us. And as he's here longer, his game will continue to expand, and you're going to see an even better player than what we're getting now. But just a great person, really good background, and it's allowed him to have some success.
Okay, thanks everybody.
There we go, Brandon. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow, unless Sheldon's got another question.